There's a very interesting thing that I've noticed in the last few years, and it's that when it comes to Shopify and e-commerce, it's some of the boring niches that not a lot of people are looking into that are absolutely blowing up and that are super, super massive. And in today's video, we're going to be dissecting this store that does $30 million a year, and all they sell is handbags. And we're going to dive deep into their landing pages, some of their best sellers here, but I also want to share with you how you could build something similar and potentially scale to these numbers. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The store that I'm talking about is called HoboBags.com, and they're a very well-established business. They don't just have a Shopify store, so I'll have that disclaimer right away. I know some of you may be like, hey, these guys also sell in retail. They're a very established brand, and yes, that's true, but we're diving deep into their direct-to-consumer side right now. And ultimately, I'm a huge believer in direct-to-consumer. Obviously, I think Shopify is the best place to host your e-commerce business. For example, right here, we can see this is their current bestseller. So one of the cool things about looking at bestsellers in different stores is that that this is a best-selling product, right? There's a lot of demand behind this product. And personally, I prefer to invest, incubate, or help clients scale in categories that have a lot of demand. It's just easier, right? I mean, it just makes things a little bit easier. You have a tailwind behind you instead of having to, do an uphill battle to make something work. So we know this has a lot of demand, right? If we take a look at this niche, this is another thing I really like about this space. So if you're thinking about starting a Shopify store in this space, this is something to note down. They keep things very minimal. So you don't have to do anything super crazy when it comes to your landing page, as long as you have a very clean theme, which even the free Shopify themes are very, very good. But of course, a nice paid premium theme could be a good idea for this niche. You're going to be in a good spot, right? Because again, that's all they're doing is they just keep things very simple. Their details are, even hidden here in this detail collapsible tab, and they're selling this thing at $198. So it's a really nice average order value, which I like about this business. When you have a high average order value like this, like $150 to $200, it makes it a lot easier to scale Facebook ads and Instagram ads, which are meta ads. I say Facebook and Instagram because a lot of you guys still don't really know that it's called meta, but it is meta ads. You can run both Facebook and Instagram ads from the same platform, and that's what I suggest you do. That's what we do for a lot of clients. It's extremely powerful. Now, if we scroll down, we can see a lot of people really like this. Let's see if there's any 1-star review. So my bag is peeling, contacted them and they didn't do much. It's going to take 4 to 6 weeks. So it does seem like it takes a little bit of time for these to ship. However, they are a family-run business. I don't know if it still is. Probably is. It makes sense that they kind of craft everything in-house, it seems. They're from Idaho, or no, Annapolis. Where is Annapolis? Let's see. Annapolis is in Maryland. Never mind. So they're from Maryland. And as you see, they have 100K followers. So they got a good social media presence. Nothing too crazy though. They're not getting like insane engagement or anything. They're reposting all their short form content across all their social media pages, which is super smart. I think that's like one of the biggest hacks right now that you can take advantage of, is if you're going to post one piece of short form content, let's say on TikTok, which is smart, you can just repost that same content to Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube Shorts, and through that one piece of content just got posted on 5 different platforms. And that doesn't just get you 5 times the reach, maybe it performs better on one platform. So you can get 10 times the reach from that. It's a really high leverage thing to do. And this brand is doing Pinterest too. So I definitely think if you are in this category or building in this category as you grow, it could be smart to invest a little bit of money in systemizing your Pinterest. Having a virtual assistant just constantly making pins on Pinterest is a good idea for SEO purposes, especially for this niche. Now, if you wanted to start a company in this niche, this is what I would do. This is what I would recommend. If I was to invest in a brand in this niche, well, actually, I personally would invest in a brand like Hobo, right? Because they're so well established. It seems like they have incredible products and incredible story. So I would love to, acquire or invest into something like this. But if you're starting from scratch, what I would do is, first of all, try to look for a really high quality supplier, right? Because you want to sell something high ticket just like them, or mid ticket like $200. What you can do is on Alibaba, you can actually sort by Italian suppliers, for example. This is just an example. You don't have to do this, of course. And find the ones with low minimum order quantities. So for example, this one, 3 units is their minimum order quantity. So what that tells you is that they probably would negotiate with you on potentially even sending out your orders for you, right? Just on a unit per unit basis. And what that will allow you to do is focus entirely on your marketing and not really have to worry about inventory management. This is a huge advantage that you could have, because then you could just focus on Facebook ads, right? And these guys are running a lot of Facebook ads. They're running all kinds of stuff, right? So a lot of gifting ads. This is kind of like a bottom of the funnel one. Over 1.5 million sold. What I really love about this niche too, another thing, is that you can see it can be pretty simple. Like the marketing, it doesn't require like super extensive marketing. As long as you can get some great images, which AI can help you do these days, you're going to be in a good spot. You see a lot of these are just so simple. They're extremely simple images, that you could just get from your supplier, or again, hire a designer for, or use AI for, and start testing, with Meta ads. We have a really good testing framework that we share in the ShopiLab accelerator platform. And we also have sourcing partners as well. Actually, how I found this store is through the ShopiLab accelerator platform right here. And one of the best things that you can do is to create an e-commerce store, a Shopify store, through a really popular trend, right? It doesn't mean to make your entire store around that trend. I love these kinds of niche stores where you can stack different product offerings and always launch new products, because what that will allow you to do is take advantage of current demand to build momentum. And then you can launch more products in new trends, right? So that's why I love the software here that we've built, because you can see some of the biggest data-backed trends. For example, pickleball dresses. If you had a fashion store or an athleisure store, I would totally be testing pickleball dresses, because this is just such a crazy trend right now. And as you see, it's just going to continue to grow. This could completely explode your business. And of course, if you have other products like they do, right? They have a bunch of related products. You're going to get a high lifetime customer value, which will just allow you to scale even more on Meta. And again, if you systemize your business to the point where, you don't have to worry about inventory management too much by having a really good supply chain partner, you're going to be set up, right? You can just scale to easily 6 figures per month, if not 7 figures per month. We've seen clients do this. We've done it ourselves. So we know the systems that it takes. And quite frankly, that's why I love sharing this with you, because I would love for you guys to build these kinds of businesses and then potentially partner up with us, right? I want to invest in more of you guys' businesses. I want to build with you. And that's why I love making these videos. It also piques my curiosity a lot. I'm very intellectually curious. So this kind of stuff just really entertains me, believe it or not. But yeah, they're at 30 million in revenue. The handbag market is literally at $66 billion in 2024, and it's expected to cross 100 billion by 2032. So, even if you take 0.5% of this market by 2032, so you have 7 years, you could build a $500 million business in this category. I mean, obviously that's pretty ambitious, but why not dream big, right? We have amazing resources at our disposal. We have AI. People didn't have this back in the day, so there's really no point in not dreaming big, especially if you're passionate about a niche like this. But that's pretty much it for this video. I wanted to highlight this in full and give you some ideas on how you could pull this off yourself. I think right now is honestly the best time to start a business. Of course, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on with tariffs and a lot of turbulence, but this is only going to knock out some big players in this space, and it's going to present an insane amount of opportunity for new brands to pop off. Hopefully this inspired you in one way or another. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.